What's up, everybody? A Mountain Echo is back with another episode. We got Frankie and Jonah here. Sad day for basketball. We're going to get into high school basketball, boys and girls, NTM and MSU. What do you guys want to get into first?
Go ahead, Frankie.
Well, I think we gotta address the elephant in the room here. We're sitting here on Saturday. Jonah and I just came from the Oregon Mountain game. They took us by surprise. Farmington showed up and they traveled well.
They did.
And they played even better, man.
Yeah.
My stomach hurts. I don't know.
Yeah, we were saying, I feel like we just lost the game for them.
Yeah.
But I can hear the pain in you guys' voices. I feel it. I think they were the first 12-5 upset of all those classes bracket. Yep. And then Mesilla Valley also lost too as the 5 seed.
By 1, right?
To the 12 seed Mora. Yeah, by 1 point, 47-48. So that was another 12-5 upset. But Farmington, I told Frankie in the middle of the game, I was like, they are in a really tough district. These guys are big. Like they had 2 guys at least 6'6". The other one might have been 6'4", but he was a big boy. And they played in a district with Volcano Vista, who's the number 1 team, Cleveland, who's the number 7, I believe, and then Rio Rancho, who made the tournament. I don't know what they are.
Rio Rancho was 14.
14. They lost to Sandia. And Cibola was in it too. I don't know if up there, if you scroll up.
Definitely 9.
Cibola, that was a close matchup, 9 versus 8. So
they're in a district with 4 other playoff teams, so they were ready, and they did not let up. And it just seemed like Oregon Mountain couldn't find another scorer to complement Ethan Coombs. He had I think it was 18 or so points. Mm-hmm. I was keeping stats, but my brain's fried now after watching that and the CUSA's game.
Yeah,
hold
on. Let's keep on. We'll get to that in a bit.
Yeah. Good point.
Oregon Mountain wasn't prepared?
Ooh, that's a good question.
You know what? Well, you didn't get to interview some of these guys.
I know.
Gone
or something for interviews.
At least for myself, when I think of these guys who were just so excited. They had that dog in them when we showed up there, and we were talking about the article that you wrote, and then they weren't happy about the fact that you even thought about them not being district champions, right? And so we were just so confident that they were going to be able to at least advance to the pit. I don't know if it was not being prepared. Yeah. I don't think we've seen a team like that. They were just right off the bat. They were big, like you said, but they did full court press the entire time.
They did.
At halftime, I was tired. I'm like, what is going on here? Even me just following the game, they just did not stay off of them the entire time. Yeah. And to Oregon Mountain's credit, they stood up, and we were talking about Emilio, who just fought today. He said, stand up and bang. That's exactly what they did, pause. They stood up, and they literally, it was a heavyweight fight. It wasn't a lot of scoring. There was a lot of fouls. There was a lot of chippiness, and do you think they had control over the game at all, ever? There was just momentum that way, right? I
wasn't able to watch it. Did they have, were they ever up by double digits at least, or was it always back and forth?
No, the first quarter was 10-10. I think they trailed the rest of the game. They played catch up. But I think Isaiah or Frankie might have mentioned, both might have, that Oregon Mountain just all season didn't do well with full court press. Yeah. And they had a few turnovers off their own doing, and it seemed like when they get out of the full court press, they would take some ridiculous 3-point shots, and where they didn't need that at the time. Yeah. Obviously, towards the end they had to, but I don't know. It just sucks. There's a pit feeling in my stomach right now, and I feel for the kids. They had 8 seniors.
9, right?
They had 9, but 8 seniors played. I think the 9th was the manager.
Gotcha. But still part of the team. Yeah,
that's hard. It didn't seem like they were running offensive plays too, and I don't know if they weren't prepared, like Frankie said and you said, but they just they're doing a lot of one-on-one ball, and they probably could have won if they went to the line a little more. Like Ethan was getting fouled. Ethan Coombs was getting fouled going to the. I don't think they could really guard him, but he didn't really do it after the first quarter really. So in Lenny, they held him in check. So
that was about I did see some of the little highlights posted on Instagram that it looked like he was getting doubled a lot.
He was getting double teamed, but whenever you don't have somebody who
a good outlet, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Just a good outlet. That was what I had mentioned that multiple times on previous episodes that it just felt like if there wasn't any opportunities for the fast break, they weren't going to be scoring as efficiently as we've seen them, right? The flashy dunks, the quick passes and the outlets and being able to shoot. A lot of times that happened in transition.
Yeah.
But when you have three guys on the other side of the half court line, literally just walking you down where it's almost it's a mission just to get halfway down the court. Bro, it was uncomfortable the entire time.
Yeah, and I want to disclose this too. Like, we're not trying to rag on the kids for not doing good, but like we're sports analysts at this point now,
right?
And we're going to talk about the game. And I just didn't think anyone else showed up really. Emma McDaniel, he's capable of shooting the three and getting to the basket. And a couple of times he did get to the basket because they knew they watched their film. Their shooter was Emmett, but he couldn't get anything off. And when he did, it was from deep and it would be short. The rotation was a little different than what we've seen.
I was about to ask you about that.
Some players that haven't really played all season entered the game, and it was kind of, I don't know if they were in foul trouble. I'm pretty sure they weren't because I was keeping stats, and maybe at the time, maybe someone had 3, which I guess is, you could take him out, but it was like 20 seconds left. But
some of the positives, though, we talked about McDaniels. He did really good. We kind of looked at each other. He's out there boxing out someone who's like clearly a foot taller than him. And it was like right under the basket. And he didn't even get the ball. He just boxed out. I think it was number 41 who,
the big boy who outweighed him probably by 100 pounds.
I was about to say, forget the foot disadvantage in height. He was also about maybe 100 pounds over, right? And this is a beefy dude. And so there was a lot of positives there. You saw Ethan Kuhn's. He had a rundown block off the backboard.
Oh, Pack.
Ethan Pack, you're right. Nice. He had a block off the backboard, and then in transition, he dunked it on the other side of the court. Same play. So he was balling. Nice. He was throwing himself out there. He was doing what he needed to do. So there was passion there, and I think that's what hurts the most.
Yeah.
If it would have just been an ass beating, and it's just like, there was no way. Maybe it would feel a little bit different, but just to see those guys it was close the entire time. And like I said, the Roswell, Farmington, Roswell's the Mayfield game from yesterday. Farmington traveled well, and they were screaming and yelling. There was close fouls.
I heard on your live videos.
Hey, shout out to you. There was quite a bit. Yeah, there was quite a bit of people who joined on that live, and that was something we hadn't done before.
Seriously.
And there was I think there was like 15 people that joined in almost immediately.
Something we might be doing in the future.
Yeah, maybe. But they were being loud and yelling at the refs, yelling at the players, and it was cool to see that. And nobody went on the announcer and said, "Please be nice to the players."
Yeah, that was cool. Yeah,
it's just I know you have to do it, but sometimes it's like, come on,
it's playoff basketball, man.
Exactly.
Those are the people that never played sports before. Like, please be nice to your opponent.
Yeah.
Say nice things.
It's okay to say you can't do that when somebody fouls. Like, it's not terrible.
Nice to your opponent.
I don't know.
Yeah. But shout out, when we got to give kudos and shout outs to Farmington. They came out and they punched Oregon in the face. They had 2 players, and I need to look up the stats once this is done or later on. But I think they're number 3 on their team, who was Landon Begay, I think. He was the second leading scorer in 5A. And he put up, I think, 12 or so points. And then Michael Beck, number 2 for them, just went off. Like, he was getting to the line. He must have shot at least 15 free throws, I bet. And when he had room, he would get to the basket. I think he had a couple of 3-point shots made too. And then 41, I didn't get his name, but towards the end, he would get to the line and he was smooth with it. And he made a 3-point too to kind of cut the momentum off of Oregon Mountain when they came back. I think they grabbed a 1-point lead there for a while in the fourth quarter, and then Farmington just took over. And it's what you want playoff basketball to be, right?
It was fun. It was a fun environment.
So, and we feel for those kids, but for the ones coming back, don't remember that feeling, right? Like, use that as motivation next year.
And talking about going to transition here, can we into Cruces? Talking about being passionate and about a playoff game. We had Coach Ben. He didn't finish the game. You were watching it the whole time more than we were.
I watched that
He did not finish. He had an early exit.
Yeah, what happened? Did you see what happened? Or
it looked like it was an iffy call by the ref. They were going at it back and forth probably throughout the whole entire game.
Yeah.
And I guess one iffy call, he snapped out, he ran onto the court, and the ref said no more. Sent him off.
Yeah, I think
he got a tech and then he got ejected.
I think he even just all he did was like wave like that, I
Yeah.
think, and instead of going off this
he
way,
ran, dude, I was like,
he ran
oh.
off in the middle of the court and was yelling under his breath. But
was like,
he's
what's he
passionate. I mean, I want my coach to do that too.
Yeah. Well, I thought that was a perfect time to do it. I think there was a strategy because in baseball you do that. You know, there's a little bit of, you're losing the momentum, and so the coach goes out there and starts kicking some dirt, and it hypes up the players, right? And they actually took the lead after he left, right? And
I think they were up by like 1 or 2 whenever he got.
No, I think it was before, because then it was 46-45, and then Hobbs shot 4 free throws because they got the
that's right.
the double tech, and then something else happened. So, but they were leading that's a number 2 team in the state. Hobbs is good. And they're big dudes.
Great. I think the game started. It was like 18-2 or something, like 17-2.
Yeah, I checked in. It was 28, and I was like,
God dang, like these kids are gonna get destroyed. And then they came back and they tied it up right before the second half. I was like, ooh.
Gosh,
yeah.
No, I mean, it was cool. I'm glad to see Coach, and as if Isaiah was here, he'd say, "Is this Coach Ben's last year?"
No,
it might. Is it? And who knows? You know, that would be an epic way to go. The legendary season, the legendary career that he's had,
like upsetting them.
If he just like runs off, if he's like, that's the last time we see him, that Antonio Brown style. Yeah. Whereas he's just like out and just ran across the court like that. Who knows what's going to happen with him? The only one senior's graduating, so I wouldn't imagine him being able to. You're right. Yeah. And so who knows, but that's another tough loss, man. I'd hate to see the seniors struggling, not necessarily struggling, just they're sad. This is a time of mourning. If we're sad, I can't even imagine what they feel like.
Sad their careers. I remember not playing my last game. I'm like, this sucks. You go home and you don't know what to do. Yeah. But I don't know. I've heard a lot from my inside sources that Coach Ben has a lot of, there's a lot of potential coming up to the team. And also he has 2 big freshmen, Von Romney and Jaden Brisby, who are they played
tons
great.
Of minutes today, right?
They played great today. One fouled out, but like he did it. He held his own. Those are some big senior kids on Hobbs that were going against him. But I think he sticks it out. I know he has a daughter still in high school, so maybe he sticks it out for her career. But like I think he sees what he has, and I keep hearing people saying, "Watch out for Cruces." Cruces is they're coming back up, and now that Oregon Mountain kind of dropped the ball, and seeing what they, like I said the other day, they played good against Oregon Mountain. Momentum carried to this game, and then what about this momentum carrying to next season? So
I think the way he ran off the court, he's like, "All right, I got y'all next year."
Yeah, I mean, it was cool. And
that's sick. That's sick.
Like that.
Imagine. Yeah. Either way you look at it, right? Of like, nah, I'm out. I mean, I don't think that would be what you do to the senior. Bird Nevada was just such a star in our district, winning co-player of the year, and just to seeing him, he didn't stop playing as hard as he could. You can also see him on there.
Oh yeah.
He, in that sense, had a unique role that was different than what Oregon Mountain had, because he had to set the tone, and he did that all year long. And so it sucked to see them exit the way that they did. But then, I mean, there's teams in the city that didn't make the playoffs, right? And so that was an extra game. That was an extra road trip that you had with your brothers.
Yeah.
So I think that was a cool experience as well. And so shout out to both of them. That was
Bird Nevada's had rough. 10 points in the third quarter alone, and the announcer for Hobbs, shout out to him. He did a really good job.
Oh yeah, he was going crazy.
He was really good. But he said I think they were above 80% of free throws for the entire game, and then Hobbs ended up shooting like 21 free throws alone in the fourth quarter. I wasn't really happy with the officiating in that game.
Yeah, it wasn't very good.
Us, so, but other than that, I'm not going to whine about that. It is what it is. You can't leave it to the refs. But they did remember that he asked him to shoot like 75%. I'm sure that was a goal for every game.
Yep.
And they converted, and they made the changes they need to. They came up short, but they should be proud.
Definitely. Hey, round of applause.
Yeah, shout out to the Cruces too.
Yeah, Cruces.
And then we still have Mesilla Valley Christian as well.
Mesilla Valley,
Not too much detail into there. Just we had to go live for even the Oregon Mountain one, so it was hard to even follow along what was going on with Mesilla Valley. But as they're transitioning out, shout out to them.
No, this is a successful season as well. I think we covered with them way back then, and they were undefeated.
Yeah, that was like fourth or fifth episode.
Yep.
So I mean, to get that far, it's not easy getting to state. So be proud, and we're in good shape. As I keep telling people, I'm like, the future's bright here. We have a lot
Absolutely.
a lot of momentum heading forward, and we used to win state championship. It was a lot, but times have definitely changed. It's another whole school year now. Our districts are being redone to make sure we're competing, and also kids are getting the right education as well. So we'll be fine. I'm cool with it.
It's good. And I mentioned on the live, but apparently y'all couldn't hear me. A lot of these guys are also dual sports, right? And so they're athletes, and basketball is not their only sport. Some of these guys will go on to play track, or I guess you don't play track, but you go and run track or field. Some will be going to baseball, and so it's a good experience. And there's some athletes out there, man. We're talking about, we have a national champion on the basketball court,
Julian
for Oregon
Gonzalez, I think. Yeah, shout out to Julian. But on the bright side, we got Mayfield still.
Yes, sir.
Mayfield beat Roswell by like 30 or so points. Yeah. And they're your only hope.
Hey, we're going just for you. So if anyone says that we're doing special treatment for one team or the other, we will be going still to the pit. We'll be there all week, and so we'll be covering you guys, Mayfield, and excited to see that. I was able to go to the game last night on Thursday. I went there with my family and we checked it out. It's cool to see the mayor there. I think he's really good friends. For the district championship, he was there, and I thought it was just for the district championship. But he is good friends with Coach Maya, and so he is a big supporter of the Mayfield basketball in general. But I've seen him a couple times at that girls.
Mayor Enriquez, right?
Eric Enriquez.
That's cool. Because there's a lot of Enriquez back in the Mayfield football days that played were really good players, so maybe he's related to them then.
I think so. Yeah, there's a couple family members that get together, and shout out to Jessica, who's a great friend of my mom's, and she's the one who's like, I think they're all related to somehow. So she shouted us out on Facebook and did stuff on there that brought a little bit more attention to us, and so she's definitely watching it. She's the one who mentioned it to Coach Selby, and Coach Selby was laughing about our last comment during the district championship as well.
I got a little scared.
Whenever she tried to block
I thought that sharing some of that strategy and that secret, hey, like we said, the referees were seeing it. It can't be the first time they've done it. I'm sure she's a vet. As a coach, she's a vet, and so I'm sure she's been doing it when she needs to, So that was district championship when it happened. But that Enriquez family, they've been around Mayfield sports for a long time, and so the Mayfield girls looked really good. They had control for the most part at all times. Obviously, you sub in and you start rotating, and basketball is a little bit momentum, but they took care of business, and so we're excited for Tuesday at 9:45 a.m.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
and Cruces, came up short as well for girls basketball. I watched that one, and that was a tough matchup for them. La Cueva had, I'm pretty sure it's Cam Dyer's little sister. He's the Mr. Football of New Mexico. He's a quarterback for La Cueva, and his sister, I think, or whatever family relation they are, she went off, and she had a lot of points, and she was getting rebounds, and she had a smooth mid range. It seems like the mid range is really alive in girls basketball, which is cool because you don't see it much in men's basketball or NBA or anything like that. So, but they played their heart out. They were down by 1 the first quarter, and then after that, they just couldn't rebound after that, and a lot of self-inflicted turnovers. But like I said, they have a good coach, and they have a few girls coming back, like Sofia Herrera, and so they'll be ready to go. Like a lot of these teams are going to reload. Yeah. So,
how was the game? I mean, you look at the final score. Was it 60-41?
Yeah.
Was it pretty uneven the whole time?
The first half was more close, and then I think La Cueva just kind of coasted the second half. Every time they would get within 15 or 13 or so, La Cueva would just kind of, those girls can shoot too, so shout out to La Cueva. And they had a freshman or two playing, and I was like, freshman playing varsity, and she can go to the pit. So
it's crazy.
It seems like northern teams have a lot more younger players playing up, which maybe we'll get into that topic another day, but
that's going to be a good matchup though, Mayfield versus La Cueva.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I think they already played once this season, and Mayfield won. But it's the state playoffs, and anything can happen. Obviously, after today,
nobody's playing at home.
Yeah, you're not. But it'd be sick.
That was pretty close to being at home.
I meant
As
like
far
they're
as
like
traveling,
stadium or arena or whatever.
Yeah. I was actually talking to one of our friends. He coaches the Artesia JV freshmen, and he does all kinds of stuff for other athletics as well. And I wanted to ask you guys. It'll be my first time at the pit. Is the court actually bigger? He said,
It is, right?
It's
a
longer
college
and
court,
kind of
right?
wider. It's a
Like
different
the-
dimensions as far as the court itself.
Yeah, I don't know. I think
it is.
I mean, I'm
Actually,
sure
I
like
have
it's
no
more
idea.
wider, but like
Let's
the
see.
area is probably the same, like regulation size.
He had mentioned it, and I just wanted to ask that. He did say, he had confirmed with me, he's like, it's bigger. I don't know if that was just from visually because it's a bigger area.
Yeah, I don't know.
So that'll be cool. One of the coaches or someone
It could be more
mentioned it to
wider
us.
from college. I don't know. I
Right,
know like how.
right?
Yeah,
I don't know.
it is. High school court is smaller.
Yeah.
Length, width, and 3-point line.
Okay, we'll go with that then. Yeah, I mean,
Interesting.
Yeah, so it is bigger, so it's going to be a different feel. And the Mayfield girls are really good at shooting threes as well. That's why when you said shooting threes for La Cueva, it's going to be a different process for them
imagine
to
just
get
matching
used to
threes that game.
that.
But hopefully
yeah.
they don't allow that because that'd be hard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry.
so I mean, the elevation obviously will be a factor. The court is 10 feet longer than
Okay.
a high school court. 3-point line isn't really much of a difference. It's like another half a foot.
Okay.
So I think they'll be okay.
I wonder what the elevation of the pit is too, because they have a sign in the tunnel like elevation, like to intimidate the opponents, and like they can't breathe and stuff. So I don't know what that is, but it's a cool environment. I'm excited for you guys to go with me and like because my first time was last year and
5,100 feet.
Okay. What is that in
Yeah, I don't know.
miles?
In miles? That's like right under a mile.
Okay. I'm like, is it
Math.
55 a mile? I don't know. All right, let's not
Like
get into math right now.
5,250 feet is a mile, I think.
Yeah, so it'll be fun and excited to just cover there. Please, for the love of God, Mayfield, let's get a dub.
Let's get a dub, baby. Let's go.
Hey, let's get it. Let's go for Coach Maya. Let's go.
and
Hey, Coach Maya is doing amazing. I love to see him up and down the court. He's got that energy, and he's
How old do you
he's on
think
the
he is?
floor. I don't know. I think he looks like he's 30. He's out there.
That's a good answer. That's a good answer.
No,
Do
he's
some research for
awesome.
that one.
Yeah, but yeah, so we'll see them, and I'm not even gonna say anything for predictions at this point. Like I
was
just
going
want
to.
yeah,
No.
I just want to see them. I just want to see everyone have fun.
Oh, come on. Don't do
teams
that.
have fun.
What is that?
No.
No way.
Come on,
Nah, I
Mayfield.
want Mayfield to.
Lock in.
Dominate, and I want them to represent Cruces, hopefully on the final stage and beyond that. Because shout out to Centennial girls
I was about to
too.
bring him up.
They battled with Sandia.
Oh, man.
Like Sandia is defending state champion. We lost. I put in an article like if they lose by 15 or less, that's a dub. They lost by 17, but still like to keep up with them. And I think they held. I think it was weird. I saw max preps, but I'm pretty sure this is accurate. That the second quarter or third quarter, Centennial scored 2 points. Sandia scored none, and that's why it was so close. I think.
Let's see.
So, I mean, you can look it up if you want.
Way. Nope.
And I mean, this is the third
no.
place.
Oh, hey, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't know what I was thinking too. There's so many games going on.
Talking about the fourth quarter?
No, they're pretty consistent. They won every quarter.
What did I see? I don't know what I saw
Points.
then.
That's it. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, no. And shout out to Centennial because
what I
they're the
saw.
third team out, I guess you could say, as far as in our district, and to still be able to represent like that. As we had talked to Coach Loophole saying, man, we just don't have the respect out here in Las Cruces and in the South in general. And so us just being able to compete with some of these teams, it's got to be stepping in the right direction as far as competing and having more than just two teams in your district representing in the state tournament. So Centennial was a really important representation for us as a third place team there, you know? So
I wish our whole team was healthy too, man.
Yeah,
I feel like it
Joy.
would've been a way
got
better
hurt.
game.
And who knows? They could have maybe made it even more closer, even pulled off upset.
I think they would have.
But I apologize for not getting the stats right. Maybe I was looking and they weren't updated. I don't know. You never know with max preps, but
That's true.
yeah, I'm just happy they competed. I know Coach Abney, who is a really good coach, is happy as well. And we got a little we've been talking to each other via text message, and we got some things planned out too with Coach Abney, so that's pretty exciting. He seems to be happy that we're even talking high school sports in New Mexico. Not many people do it now, so shout out to Coach Abney. Appreciate that.
Yeah. Yeah, and the commitment to just trying to stay focused to Las Cruces, to highlighting the athletics here. And, we've had some opportunities where people ask us to do things that kind of go beyond just Las Cruces. But I think that for those of you guys who've reached out, our intentions are to speak to the athletes that we have in Cruces and to stay and commit our energy to those. So it's going to take away from anything else if we start doing other things. So this is what we want to do. This is what we're happy with, and it's only the beginning. So Coach Abney reaching out and helping us do some other things here that we're going to also help him out too. So
speaking of reaching out too, the Adams State assistant coach, I can't remember his name, but he reached out to Coach Thomas.
Thomas, I forget his first name, but Coach Thomas.
Yeah, he reached out to us too. They just came off a loss today, but I mean, it wouldn't have affected the seeds very much. Like we would just flip-flop with Kennesaw State because we're going to play – men's are going to play Kennesaw State. They're the 4 seed. We're the 5 seed. Yep. And at the time of the game, it didn't even matter who won this game between Sam Houston and us. But still, it would have been nice to be a little confidence booster heading into the tournament. But I saw some fans kind of overreacting, saying with terrible defense. Sam Houston was just throwing up shots there were contested shots in there. We played some decent defense in the second half, and even in the first half, but they were just putting up really tough shots. I don't know what else you could do. The hands were in the face. Filipovic, Osborne were doing good. So, I mean, it is what it is. It's a loss, but I'm sure they're not going to let another team make 12 threes again in the tournament. So
maybe it's good they got that out of the way for the tournament.
That's true.
It's weird to see. I saw a comment about Peter Filipovic struggling on offense, and I was at the girls' basketball game, so I wasn't able to see the men's. Who was it? Not to point fingers, right? But was someone could have done better? Was there just someone off that today? What was going on there?
The good thing is Carpenter had a real confidence booster. He had 20 points, I believe, and he was shooting good from 3. He put a couple of weird shots up that were maybe a little forced, but I think Coach Huon drew up those plays and wanted him to shoot, probably encouraged him to kind of shoot out of that funk. But there wasn't the second guy for us. I think Cook scored maybe 2 or 3 from the field. The rest were off free throws. We just needed that second guy to show up, and Filipovic, Cook, or Jackson weren't really the ones to show up for us. So, but no diss on them. I'm sure it was an emotional game for Coach Huon and his team to especially for Coach Huon to go back to Sam Houston again, and maybe they felt a little bit of pressure. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I really thought there was going to be a lock for a win there because Sam Houston, like you said, is Coach Hooten's last place that he had coached at, and so you have that little extra fire to beat them, right? And so
I think that's his only other D1 job, to be honest. I'm sure he coached other places, but he coached it for 13 seasons. I was like, yeah,
it's quite a bit of seasons.
Yeah, that's a long time. So I don't know.
That's tough. And then you had the girls. The girls played today. Was the last game for a few of the seniors. It looked like there was not, just like Oregon Mountain, there was 9 seniors on that basketball team. They shot it out. There's some obviously getting into the rotation there. We have some younger girls that do really good. So, but we have 9 graduates this year, and it was their last game at the Pan Am.
How's the crowd?
It was pretty good. We just pulled up. The attendance is 7,432. I don't think it was that much.
Look at the last game they played against La Tech.
Was it loud?
It was loud.
Was it a nice vibe?
Maybe they counted. I mean, if you count all the staff, maybe. But the band was there, and they were loud. They were, they were heckling the Sam Houston bench, and they were, doing their thing, and it was loud. And I thought I would say maybe there's 2,000. Would be a little under 2,000. Yeah. No, it was a packed crowd, and it was for those seniors. They got to have the opportunity because it was a pretty good win there. It got tight towards the end, but they were able to stretch it out where they can slowly, the ceremonial taking off of the seniors. So I sat and it was nice to see Molly come out and some of the other players.
Cool. She led in every category.
Yeah, she did. Yeah. And shout out to Molly. She retweeted one of our clips.
That's right.
On Twitter. So
she likes a lot of our stuff.
Thank you, Molly. Yeah, we appreciate that actually. Yeah. And I'm glad they ended off with the win. Who did they play?
2 wins.
Who they play next?
Yeah, for the tournament.
They were locked in. If they won or lost, they were locked into the 4 seed.
Oh, they got the 4 seed?
Yeah. But I don't know who they're playing. And really interesting. Today is International Women's Day.
Yeah.
And they had a little presentation of a couple leaders. And Barbara Hubert was one that I thought was really interesting. She's been around forever doing a couple things. And so shout out to her because the Aggies shouted them out. Civil Dickerson has been around for years. She helped before they were explaining to her, and I thought was really cool. Civil Dickerson was very influential in getting women's sports to Las Cruces, supporting them. And she's been a businesswoman forever. And the reason why the last name might sound familiar is because she's, I believe, the grandmother of Marcy Dickerson, who owns the game. Yeah. So even to this day, her legacy is still around.
Yeah.
Because Marcy's huge everywhere. Yeah. The game and we go play pool there all the time. Yeah. And we go. So she's been doing all kinds of stuff in the city, and they also support Aggie sports. So a huge legacy there for women leadership in Las Cruces as well. So I thought that was really cool, and I wrote it down. I was like, "That's neat. I want to mention that on the show." Sure. So Civil Dickerson, she got a little plaque of jersey and got it framed and stuff. And so that was nice.
Damn, those are nice jerseys too. Dang, good for them. And yeah, I think it's International Women's Month too, right? Or they're counting the whole month or something like that. I think yesterday or today was actually the day. And then the month we're celebrating. Well, who cares? We'll celebrate women all the time.
Senior day too. Yeah. They playtime Houston, yeah.
So
that's cool.
Shout out to Mexico State. They're gonna get in the thick of it. Let's make a run in March. Let's go. Let's get back to the good old days. Yeah. And I think they can. And I think they're capable of doing it both women's and men's. So it's time. It's March, baby. March Madness. We'll be watching that too from Albuquerque, I guess, because they play Thursday. Yeah, so the back end of that week is when they get started. I think Wednesday the women might start on Wednesday night. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
we'll be busy.
So it'll be a fun time. And you tweeted it out. Other people started using it, and I mean, it wasn't your stats that you posted on
attendance.
The attendance, but I mean, if we're talking about being used to playing in a court full of people, NM State and UTEP are the top 2 in the conference in having that comfortability. Obviously, the attendance didn't help NMSU much because we didn't do really that great in
home games,
in home games. But I mean, now it doesn't matter what you did in the regular season, man. So let's see how we can do throughout this tournament. And there's no date on this thing that you just pulled up, Steven.
I think there is.
Is there? Let's see.
March 13th.
Okay. So Thursday, the women?
Women's start? Okay. Women's play La Tech, 11:30 on the 13th.
Okay.
This bracket's wide. It looks a little weird, right?
Why does the 4 and the 5
why do they
play the day after Liberty, who had a bye?
Conference USA. Let's make the bracket
what is happening in Conference USA?
Let's make the bracket a little more simple.
Conference USA. They are an interesting bunch, huh?
I don't know what's going on with that bracket.
Very interesting bunch. Yeah. I like that.
Golly, yeah, I don't know. But, and what about baseball? I think they completed their series today.
Yeah, obviously we had a busy day, emotional. Again, guys, it was a long day, but yesterday they played Texas Tech, and you don't want to.
Tech or A&M?
Texas Tech. They played A&M a while back, but they played Tech yesterday, Friday. This is the one negative thing I will say. You want to guess what the score was for that game?
I don't think I want to know.
Yeah, baseball.
Was it double digits?
It was double digits for one team.
Who'd they play?
Texas Tech.
19-1.
Oh, 19-0.
Oh, I was going to say 115.
Close. Yeah, 19-0 in 7 innings. So I spoke highly of him. Jack Turner has been really good as a pitcher, and he's been giving us some solid innings and some really good defense there. But man, they took them for a ride. And so I think the fourth inning, there was an 8-run inning in the fourth. So rough there. I'm not sure how they did today. We'll pull that up here, or we'll just update it online because I think it was later on during the day. But I do want to shout out Mitch Namey, who we've been saying for a while now. As of Friday, he has a 13-hit streak, right?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So he's doing great. We're making the contact. We're playing well. We're doing pretty good. So we haven't dropped a full series yet. We've tied a 4-game series here and there. Usually they're 3 games on the weekend, and then the weekdays is when you'll have 4.
That was a rough week for baseball this week. The weather was terrible.
Oh yeah. Yeah, some of our friends were, or some of my friends that are teachers. One of them went to the game on the day of the Haboob, and it was like not fun. I'm like, I don't know, why would you do that? Just cancel. Stay home. Save the permission slips for later. Yeah. Oh my gosh, don't do that. See the LCPS day there, school day. That was on Monday. That was the day that it was super windy. Oklahoma, very at the bottom there. Oakland.
Okay, yeah.
That was a game they went to and they lost. How do you come from Oakland to a Haboob?
No, see, look, it says 14 Texas A&M.
I read it down wrong? Dang. I wrote Texas Tech. I don't know where that came from. Texas A&M.
I'm not trying to call you out.
No, please. Thank you. No, yeah. I wrote it down wrong. I do that from time to time, I guess.
Yeah, we're human. Sorry. Okay. Deal with it. But Texas it's good that they play these big teams. They play these big teams like before. Like it helps them. Even with basketball, like they played Texas, and we got a good experience from that environment and whatnot. So hopefully this helps them later on in their conference season and whatnot. So it's wild, the talent gap between like a mid-major school, and I don't know if they call it for baseball too, but
yeah, they do.
Okay, it's like the Power 5 schools. I don't even know what conferences there are now because they keep making the weird things and all that. But yeah, the talent level is different. I don't think they're like a lot better than us. It's just they get a lot more.
Yeah. Like today I just saw that it was 1-7. So it went from 19-0 to 1-7. Yeah. Things change always, momentum and pitching and weather for sure.
Yeah.
So they'll have one more game tomorrow, Sunday. So we'll see how they do, but that might be the first series that I guess if they lost today, that'll be the first series that they drop.
So number 14 Texas A&M, I guess that's not, that's not too.
And I don't think we've played anybody in our conference yet. So right now we're just trying to gauge where we're at and what we're up to as far as our talent wise.
Yeah, first conference game is the 21st against Liberty. That's a series.
Cool.
They play a lot of games between that time. Then that's wild how many games
baseball has. Baseball
and softball play.
Play almost every day.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess it's fun. You stay busy. Miss class.
Keeps them out of trouble.
For sure.
Get some special treatment.
Well, the reason why I know that we consider it mid-major is because there was an article that I saw on our girl, Desiree Spearman, who we've been talking about a lot. There's let me get the article right here. Softball America was an article, or it's a website. I'm learning this the same time as you guys are, but it's essentially like the ranking of all these players, like the top 100. You know, the NBA has like the top 100 players or whatever. So Softball America is one of those rankings, and Desiree Spearman is number 3 on that list
for mid-majors.
For everybody. For everybody.
Wow.
And then shout out to Matthew Nope, who wrote a great article. It was on the NM Sports website, and he was writing that she's one of 2 players named that are from a mid-major. Mm-hmm. So she's one of the best.
And how many total
in the country?
You probably said this, but
no, I didn't. Okay. I was trying to look through it, but it makes you pay for the subscription.
Come on.
If Matthew can shout us out, respond to us and show us where we can find that list. I was looking for it, and all I could find was put my credit card into something. So
that's how they get you.
We're broke. We're broke still. So
we're trying to get it up. So
we're trying.
It's all good. But yeah, it's been a eventful day for sure in the sports world of Las Cruces. So I don't know. My brain's fried from so many statistics today, but congrats. This is a good basketball season. We have a lot to look forward to for softball and baseball, and for high school as well, not only college, but
Sports doesn't stop.
Don't stop, baby.
Yeah, we got baseball. Soccer had their first they're doing some spring ball.
Yeah.
So it's not the official season I was looking at it, but they're getting started. And I wanted to actually name some of the players that are coming in. We had 6 signees. So like we were talking about, and now in this NIL world, when you get new players, they're not necessarily freshmen. They're not coming from high school, but there are 2 specific ones that I want to name out. Tessa O'Neill, she is a true freshman. She'll be starting with us this season, and she's from El Paso. She's a forward, and she's from El Paso High School. So she's from the local area. Her family will be able to come and drive down and see her. I'm sure that is something that's added to the value of playing for NSU.
El Paso's they take their soccer serious. So do we down here. I mean, Centennial won state soccer, I think. So, yeah, that's good. He's recruiting local.
And then we have Ainsley Thompson, and she's a mid forward and a defender. So she's more on the defensive side, but she's from Franklin High School.
Nice.
Yeah.
Another one.
So we have 2 girls that are starting up with us now that are from El Paso and are close by. So, I mean, similar to Desiree, who is
Hanks.
Yes, sorry.
That's an El Paso, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I think
so it was cool to see her. I think it was her mom who saw. I was like, oh my gosh, they're talking about. So hopefully we can get. We want to shout out to even those players who aren't necessarily from Cruces, but they're now playing for Cruces.
Yeah.
And so the shout out to them. They're super close here in El Paso, and that'll be a lot of fun to be able to see them getting started with soccer. Man, they play in the heat, man, and there's like no shade when you go watch them play. But they, sorry.
You've been to the soccer game?
I've been to a soccer game. It's really cool though, because you can go bring your lawn chairs. And you could just chill on the side. Yeah, bring an umbrella in your lawn chair, and you can hang out and watch the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right
so
on.
you buy your tickets, show up, and then be there. And then, look at who it is.
Okay, Jonah.
Pause.
Where you're at.
Okay. Well, let's do a snap too, and then all of a sudden Isaiah is with us. What in the world?
Like magic.
A genie poof.
Isaiah couldn't make it on screen. He was a little sad. We had some losses here. Now he was taking care of some business. So we're gonna do a little recap and talk a little bit about the high school basketball. He was watching it. We're going back and forth on the group chat, kind of talking about it. So Isaiah, what do you think there? Let's get started with Oregon Mountain first. I know Oregon Mountain had a couple things to say about you throughout the season.
The one time that I was actually wanting Oregon Mountain to win, because I was always against them against Cruces. I mean, they play Farmington. We really underestimated Farmington. Yeah. I got to sit with some people today, and Andre, he actually mentioned.
Did you watch with them?
Yeah, 12 seeds and against the 5 seeds, it always has.
It carries them in the way to high school.
The March Madness is always the 12-5 are always the best games.
Yeah, and it's always the best games. And I mean, I did not know Farmington had it like that. I know there was a reporter this week that was talking and saying that Oregon Mountain's not a matchup for Farmington and all that.
Oh, did you hear that? I heard that.
So there was a Farmington reporter that was saying
Farmington.
That was
sneaky 12 seed.
Exactly, yeah, and that basically their defensive scheme is way too much for Oregon Mountain, and it ended up being true.
Because James, the guy we met in last year's state for Albuquerque Journal, said that he said on his podcast that he picked the 112 seed was Farmington to win too. Well, I guess everyone was.
It makes sense. I mean, just you said it right. That district is stacked.
Yeah.
So they're just.
Yeah. I told him that the 5 of those 6 teams, made the state playoffs. Mm-hmm. So and they're with Volcano Vista too. So they're battle tested. They're big boys. 2 guys were 6'6", one was probably 2 something.
Yeah, they were throwing us around, man. It was rough.
Yeah, that was insane. And I know Coombs was Farmington was stacked. I didn't know Farmington had that many offensive players, but it was mainly that press. I've been saying it all.
You were the one
year on the podcast, man. If you press Oregon Mountain, it's going to be a threat. And they did it. They pressed them the whole game.
See, I credit you. I mentioned earlier, I was like, Isaiah said, or Frankie, I said, but you're right, because they didn't adjust at all to that. And I said that they did a lot of one-on-one ball, maybe. They didn't seem like they were running plays. I don't know. They seemed like give Lenny the ball, shoot, give Ray, shoot a 3. Ethan was driving to the basket on his own, he wasn't really doing. Emmett, he wasn't there.
I think that was the big threat that we could have had was Emmett, but I mean, sad to see their season end, man, so early. First round at home. I mean, they don't even have a chance to get to the pit, but I mean, that's how it is, right? Those 12-5 games are insane.
I guess we should have taken for granted last year.
Oh, yeah.
What'd you think of the other game?
Kudos to Cruces, man. I mean, I thought it was going to be a murder, a bloodbath.
Did you watch that one too?
Yeah, I did get to watch the tail end of it, the fourth quarter, and I saw
Coach
when
Ben?
they actually. Yeah, I didn't see Coach Ben get ejected because we had the audio off.
Oh,
Yeah, and the video that we were watching didn't literally. You couldn't see the time on the freaking.
You just saw
clock.
him run?
Yeah, so
You saw him run off the court?
We just saw
That was too on YouTube, right?
Yeah, like you couldn't see the time.
anything.
You couldn't see anything. You just saw the score on the top.
Yeah,
and
you
it
had
would
no idea
update
how
you.
much time was on.
So you're like, what's the
whatever.
scenario? I know it's fourth quarter, 45-42 or something like that, but what the hell's going on?
They had, like all their sponsors on the bottom. Like,
Yeah.
The last 5 minutes was like the game could end at any second right now.
What?
and I was like, you couldn't ask me the time. I was like, I don't know, 1 minute for the past 5 minutes is 1 minute. But yeah, they played the number 2 team really well,
Really well.
So,
And I think I also got to talk to a couple buddies while I was up there in Albuquerque. I mean, seeing Hobbs, how battle tested they are. Andre had a hot take, and he said he thinks Hobbs is going to actually be the state champion this year. He sees Hobbs taking away from Coach Brown, and I see that could be a possibility. I mean, Sandia. I mean, it's gonna look. It looks like it's gonna be a Sandia Hobbs semifinal on the bottom side of the bracket.
I agree with that.
And of course, you could have. I mean, you're gonna have Volcano win all the way through. I mean, who knows? Farmington might put up a fight against them, but
yeah, no,
they might
they're in
be
the same district.
They might be the Cinderella team. Yeah, but I really do see Hobbs beating Volcano Vista because it seems like they're the most talent-strong team to actually do that.
We'll see how Volcano does against La Cueva. It'll be their first test in the
roll.
tournament.
That's true.
I think they'll roll. I don't think they're going to be tested to the state championship. Like if you said if Hobbs gets there, but yeah,
I don't know about Hobbs. They did look pretty good, but
Well, as I said last show, like Coach Ben, he knows.
Oh yeah.
And I told you, remember, I was like, if
Yeah.
Coach Ben, if he stays this game, whole game, maybe
Yeah, it would've been different.
Maybe they win.
but
And
yeah,
the
I think
fallouts too were struggle. Was a struggle.
And then you play a team twice in the season. Obviously, the third time it's going to be a little bit harder. It's hard to beat
That's
a team
true.
twice, let alone 3 times. So
Yeah.
it makes sense they put up a fight on the third game.
but yeah, once Hobbs got ahead in the first quarter, I think it was like 18-2. I was telling these guys, they started to get real. I don't know the word. Not lazy, but like started throwing
Hobbs.
whatever up, like
I heard that they
crazy
had like
shots.
they had like 10 turnovers in the first half or something. That's kind of
Yeah, they allowed Cruces to come back and win. They were winning for a little while.
I think it's that mentality like, oh, this is going to be an easy one for us.
Yeah, I mean the game was not
Yeah.
even close to being over. You're up 18-2 at the end
So
of
the
the first
fact
quarter.
that
Like,
the fact that you get slapped in the face first round, and almost lose as a 2 seed. I mean, I think they're going to roll through the rest of the bracket because now they're going to take everyone seriously. Because if they didn't,
Yeah.
if they almost got beat by a 15 seed, now they're going to take everyone seriously, especially Cleveland. Too,
I think
as
they're
well.
going to be out this next round.
Really.
Hobbs.
Yups.
My way.
Okay.
Let's see.
What about your? Did you see that your boys, Mesilla Valley, lost 2?
Oh, damn.
By
I did
1.
not see that. I saw you.
They lost by
texted it.
1.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another 12-5 upset. So
12-5s, man. It's just where it's at. It's just
we should have known. We should have. They knew what they're doing in MA. He knew what you're doing. Putting us as.
it hurts a little more when it's at home, huh? When
It
you're a
does,
senior and you're
especially
home.
with that high of a seed. I mean, yeah. I mean, and knowing you guys have been there last year, you were the runner-up of state last year. I mean, it just hurts. I think it hurts a lot. So shout out to all the seniors, 9 seniors, man. I mean, you guys
Yeah.
had a great season, but I mean, that was a rough loss. Rough loss.
Coach Maya is our last chance in the city.
Exactly right. He's the only Las Cruces team standing right now. So, I mean, La Cueva is going to be a tough matchup. La Cueva is really, really good. I mean, they blasted the hell out of Cruces. Cruces put up a really good fight, but Coach Maya's very experienced. Coach Maya's been to the pit multiple times, and I see him winning out and having a really, really tough game against Sandia in the semifinals. And that's going to be the battle test. But yeah, La Cueva is going to be a solid team too as well. That's going to be their battle for sure. Because I mean, whooping Roswell 61-38, not really a test to them at home. But going to the pit, anything can happen.
Yeah, I was saying this might be the best contested game because they're both very similar. Like they scored. Not saying that the opposing teams were similar, but they scored about the same amount of points.
And what's ugly is, I mean, some of the girls, they like, oh yeah, look, they have a 9:45 a.m. game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is terrible.
You don't like morning games?
I don't like morning games, man. You don't know. I mean, you don't know what the best players like. I mean, they're used to playing nighttime
true.
games,
Yeah,
right?
like
they're
6 or
used to
7.
playing. They're used to playing in the afternoon. So, I mean, the only time you really play in the morning is during summertime or springtime when you're playing that summer ball. And so to play at 9:45 in the
That's the
morning,
first game too. So
yeah, first game in the morning at the pit. Everybody's barely waking up. Everybody's barely, getting their attention set. And
You're
that's gonna
barely
be an
waking up at
interesting
9 a.m.?
sometimes.
High
Come
school
on, baby. You could be at school at what,
Sometimes.
7:30?
Oh, yeah, that's right. I don't know what time school is
You
these
know,
days.
at
Not
PE,
me, dude.
you have PE at that time or something.
PE.
They got
high
basketball,
school.
man. Like, come on.
But it's still like you're up.
yeah,
There's no excuse. I mean, for me, growing up playing baseball, it was always morning games on Saturday. And you got that like nice little dew. You're outside. You're indoors, man. Don't make it an excuse.
dew. Mountain
We're
Dew?
talking about seeds not being an excuse. The morning has got to be. But yeah, it's different for basketball, I guess.
Centennial's a really surprising score.
Basketball's got a lot of softies. I feel like.
yeah, I was telling them
They put up a fight against Sandia. Wow.
and they're young, so that's going to carry it over to next year, and
Yeah.
I think they're going to be okay.
I'm just noticing something now.
I think that's that coaching experience, man. Coach Abney knows what to do over there.
Oh, never mind. I was wrong.
What do you think?
Oh yeah, Sandia did play Rio Rancho. Men's and women's play on the 11th. That's cool.
Oh, so Sandia beat in Met boys, Rio Rancho, and now Sandia
play,
girls
yeah.
play.
Yeah.
Just noticed that right now. That's cool.
So you're saying Rio Rancho and Sandia, both programs play each other?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Interesting path.
Nice.
It's very interesting. And I know Coach Brown's daughter is on Sandia, right? Or was she a senior last year?
Oh man, I don't. You told me that. I don't know.
Yeah, because I remember
They do have a
him,
lot of seniors though. I bet you she's still there.
I remember him wearing his Sandia gear, and he just had finished coaching Volcano Vista, switched on his Sandia gear and watched his daughter play, and ended up winning a championship that day too.
So his Greg Brown's brother coaches the boys India, right? Mm-hmm. But he has a daughter.
He has a daughter that plays
Wow.
for the girls team. Yeah, I remember seeing him on the sideline, and he watched his daughter win a state championship, and he cried. He didn't even cry for his own boys, but he cried for his daughter. Yeah,
That's
That boy has like 5 rings already. He's gonna need to
he's
cry.
already used to it.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's going to be interesting too to see. I don't know if she was a senior last year, but to see if she can grab a second one would be nice. But also, again, that big roadblock, Mayfield. So we'll see.
Mayfield, please carry us to the state championship, please. And did you hear about the Mexico State lost Sam Houston today?
Yeah.
Men's, they had Sam Houston scored 12 threes on us today. So the defense was a little iffy today, but like I told the guys earlier, like a lot of fans are overreacting. Defense will come back, I think. And they played the second half really well. They only held them to like 38%, I think, or 40% compared to the first half, which was 50%. So, I mean, I don't know. Tournaments are different, right?
Yeah. Are they going to be locked in at the 4 or the 5 seed?
They got the 5 seed, but it didn't even matter. Like they just flip-flop seeds with Kennesaw State. So they played Kennesaw State.
They play Kennesaw first?
Yeah, who actually beat Liberty.
Oh, wow.
I think they beat Liberty at Liberty.
No.
And I know they gave us a run for our money at home too, as well.
Yeah, they beat us, and then we beat them by
lost.
like 10 or so at Kennesaw. So,
Yeah, we flip flop.
so we'll see. I mean, it's tournament time, baby.
I think this entire conference, man, is very open. I mean, everybody's good. It's just who you're going to catch on their bad day. You know what I mean? So hopefully NMSU gets this spark lit right there in Alabama, and or
Huntsville. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
oh, did you see that? It said Huntsville, Texas.
Oh, because there's a Huntsville. That's where it's,
Yeah, that's
where
what
Sam Houston is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just caught me off guard. I was like, oh.
I know. I saw that today too. I was like, what? They're going to play in that gym? no offense. I mean,
But even Coach Hooten said, he's like, I used to play in Sam Houston. We didn't have that much of a crowd.
Oh,
he even said it.
He added someone on Twitter or X today because the Sam Houston fan was like saying like it's good to see you, Coach Hooten, and we had a crowd more than 500, and Coach Hooten put 501. I was like, damn boy, like, keep going.
Coach Hooten he'll give it back to you, man. He's
like,
cool.
I'm scared to tweet at him sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's he gonna say?
Whenever they win, I'll do the clap thing and just at Coach Hooten. That's where I leave it.
Hashtag 501.
Yeah, I don't know, but
That's great.
yeah, I think we'll be fine tournament wise. So
Yeah.
Anything else to say before?
No, that's it.
Before we close out, we were talking about it. I want to mention, just because I know Jonah won't. He's been posting. Nope, not anything controversial.
Oh,
sorry,
okay,
but
what do you mean?
no. I just want to shout out all his work that he's been doing on the side. Obviously, as A Mountain Echo, we've been working really hard to put out content for you guys. But Jonah's been doing it for such a long time. He's a professional. He's been working with, from the Aggie Roundup, he's been doing stuff for multiple newspapers. He's done freelancing stuff for the Bulletin. He could go on and on. And so he's the man. And he's been working really hard to provide great quality. And so if there's anyone or all of you who are listening now, if you can just be able to support him, he's got a website where you're able to subscribe to some of the more exclusive things that he has available online. And so if you think, hey, how can we support these guys, all of us here sitting here? First one that definitely I think of all the time when somebody comes up to me is to be able to support Jonah. And so I know he's super humble and he wanted to say it, but I wanted to jump in and say, I love this guy. He works really hard and he is our source here for A Mountain Echo and really supports us. So not getting I'm losing my voice here. I'm not crying. I'm crying. No. Just So please support him. We're happy to have him, and we're lucky to have him. So any support that you're able to do, please provide it for Jonah.
Appreciate that.
And in prep and college sports. Been doing it forever, and so you see us on Twitter kind of going back and forth. Sometimes we're the only ones liking and sharing each other's stuff. But this guy's the man. Yeah,
appreciate that. Yeah, go ahead. You said it all. New Mexico prep and college sports. So
shout out Fat Crates as well.
Shout out Fat Crates.
Shout out Fat Crates.
Closes out, Steven. Anything else we need?
Anything else? No. I don't have anything else.
Sorry, I'm late.
No, it's okay, man.
Yeah.
I heard you outside.
Going 90 on the highway.
Oh, no. Don't do 90 on the highway. You'll go to jail.
Yeah.
I have something.
Don't do 90 unless you have a radar detector.
Oh.
You guys didn't hear that.
Yeah.
Jonah.
Sorry, State Police.
Actually, I want you to close this out. I want you to, some guy I watch on YouTube, I won't say who it is, but if you know, you know, give us some dad advice to close out.
Ooh. Dad advice?
Yeah.
So all I think of is a TikTok right now.
Put you on the spot, huh?
I don't know. Just be there. Yeah. Just be there for your kid. Enjoy the moments where you're with them. Don't take it for granted because my kids already won. And
dude, that was quick.
Yeah. That was I don't know what happened. Sometimes I'm when I go to work or something, I feel really bad, but then I'm there when at the end of the day and he sees me. So just be there for them.
I like that.
Be in the present moment.
Be there for you. Can you like that? That's good.
That advice every week from Jonah.
We're out of here, guys.